years ago before this past annual campaign, and the idea was to try to figure out how to help families in the area. But the program last year won the Prince William County Innovative Partnership of the Year Award last year for the county. We were up against the little guys like Amazon and Micron. We came out ahead. It was unbelievable. So we had actually the people who accepted the award were families that had been served with us. So they went up and grabbed the award. It's amazing. We've done supported over 12 local nonprofits last year, various types of programs and support and service, things like Crossroads, Boxes of Basics, Sweet Julie Grace Foundation, different things where we provided either service or dollars to go help them. We reached over 1,000 families with education, referrals, how to get them involved with ESL classes or other programs, just by going into different communities and sharing resources that are already available. Didn't cost us anything to do that. It's just like, here's where you can get some help. We got a $50,000 partnership with George Mason with Youth Violence Prevention. I'm not sure if you guys all know that program. It's called Resilient Futures down in Manassas. And that program got started last year and has already got a new club associated with Osborne High School, working on how do we prevent youth violence type programs, bullying in schools, that kind of thing. It kind of ties into the Morgan's Message kind of concept that you guys are familiar with for suicide prevention for bad things. Locally here, right, youth scholarships. So just the last month, we gave out a scholarship award to every single high school that we support locally here. Battlefield, Patriot, Gainesville, Wakefield schools, students all receive scholarships because of this club and funded by the club. Just recently, we signed a deal with the Dolly Parton Imagination Letter, and that's for books for kids, 0 to 5. They get a free book a month, and the motto is sign them all up, because we need literacy. And kids come in, parents are reading with the kids, older brother and sister sharing that kind of knowledge, and this program has been extremely effective as a national program. We started it April, and there are 250 kids already signed up. In 2 months.
Will Dolly come speak to our club then?
I wanted to invite Anna and Sima to the camp for a moment, just to speak about their program. And they've been running a program called Families Help Families. It came out of this effort, and they raised over $25,000 last year to help families. So, yeah, can you just say a few words about the program, like how you started or what you think of it?
Well, my name is Anna, and I am part of Families Helping Families, which we help the families in need. Most of them, they are sick and they die, and we sell food to collect money to help them, either for medicine or for food or for anything. That's what we do. We organize in our homes or the people's homes, the fundraising, and whatever money we get, we go all to the families, and we invite the families to be part of that. So we involve the families to help themselves also, and that's what we normally do.
So you make food?
We do.
And what type of food?
Most of the food is, Mexican or Central American food. So, and we call our relatives if they wanna, help, and we send the information about families who are in need. That's how we get the funds to help them.
So then do you send like a meal to the family or like a box of food or?
We sell sometimes individually, like tacos, pupusas, tortas, whatever kind of food it is.
Okay.
Yeah. So we invite you guys to help us when we have another opportunity.
Okay.
So we have information to pretty soon we can.
Can I help even though I don't know how to cook?
Oh, yeah. So we always accept donations, either can be money
Oh, I
or
probably
can
do
be,
that.
yeah.
She's gonna be cooking.
They gave me the leftovers.
You
don't want to cook.
Okay.
They gave me the leftovers at the last cookout. It was wonderful.
So one of the things I was thinking about this year, and it'd be up for everybody to talk about, is that we have a lot of people who speak Spanish, who are involved in a lot of these events and things. I'd like to find a pathway to partner with Rotary with them. And maybe we could have a meeting that's, we say called the Families Helping Families kind of idea, where they're learning about us, we're learning about what they're doing. And then that's easy, you can just go to a meeting and it'll be in Spanish, and you have to figure out Spanish. But I asked Anna and Zimano if they'd be a part of helping us with that. My thought is that since I'm no longer in the role of a connection special projects person on the board, that they might be able to step in and help with that, and maybe have to talk about that. Does that make sense? Yeah. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
There's a lot going on. Talk a little bit about UVA Health. So we had UVA Health sponsor Pickleball. And I was hoping that they would come in with a big donation, and they came in with like a medium-sized donation at the time for Pickleball. But they just gave us a $10,000 award to do a community vaccine event with them. We started last year. So last year we did our first community vaccine event. It was the largest event UVA Health has done. They're based in Charlottesville. We did it in Manassas, and we worked with the local families that we've been working with to get the demand for people to come in and get flu vaccines, right? 322, the largest they've done. We had Capillary Food Bank come out. They gave out like I think 10,000 pounds of food. It was an amazing event. We had the RV out and cooked hot dogs. They were giving out books for people. And this year they want us to do it again. And this year I'd like our club to get really involved in this, because I think that if we came in and we said, like, here's the other different organizations we could bring in, we could make it even better. And like I just remember like Cox Farms came in and gave apple cider donuts to everybody. It was just everybody loved it. So UVA came in and said, could you do this for us again? And we said, sure, right? But it should be like a joint program now. And that just happened. So that was really cool.
We don't have a date yet for that.
October 17th is the
Same as
date.
Haymarket Day.
It's the same day as Haymarket
Oh,
Day.
oh, no.
So we're talking about having people help cook at Haymarket Day while we have the RV down there at the UVA Health Day. But we have to try to figure out which is. Yeah, multiple things going on. So you know we've been taking the RV around to Giants and local stores for food pantry. So we're talking about food insecurity. We've raised over $25,000 worth of food just by parking the RV down at Giant on Sundays on occasion when it makes sense to do it, and partnering with the East End Food Pantry, the trailer park down in Manassas. And we grill hot dogs, give hot dogs out to everybody, and people go in, and if they feel so inclined, they'll bring food out. And you get like baskets and baskets of food. So we kind of like a fill the RV kind of event. And yeah, it's $25,000 worth of food. So instead of like saying like, hey, could you give me dollars for the food pantry all the time, we could do this here in Walmart or Giant if we signed up. We just need to do it, right? You know, so that's the kind of things that I think about, and all these things are kind of happening. The other last thing I want to say is that we had this annual community Battle of the Paddles event. It was the first time we did community versus community. But I think of things like, there were 8 different communities involved. It was Piedmont, Dominion Valley, Carter's Mill, Creekside, Heritage Hunt, I missed one. A couple of the clubs, Lifetime, yeah. Well, for some of the communities, like if you think about it, like Heritage Hunt has this amazing program with the Giving Circle. And they've raised an incredible amount of dollars, right? Well, why isn't there a Giving Circle in all the communities? Could we help them reach out and build their program out? Not recreate the wheel, but could we do that such that other people are donating in? And that, again, rises the tide for all the nonprofits that we work with, right? Or helps us out with some of the programs we're doing. So when I think about it, I think, like, different people getting involved in the different pockets they really want to be involved in, and thinking very entrepreneurially about how do we really help the community such that it makes the best bang for the buck. We're not always asking for, handouts and free stuff all the time, but how are we creating programs that would be sustainable out there? We're already doing a whole bundle of those things. And I just want to thank you guys. I want to share all that with you guys. And people say, what's Rotary doing? Like, we're doing a ton to help the community. I don't think too many people know about that. It's been hard to get that message out.
That's the
right?
biggest challenge I find is that the publicity that we have is just so minute. You know, that we need to get really out, somehow we need to really get the word out about how great this club really is and what Rotary does. Because so many people don't even know what a Rotarian is.
Yeah. So we don't have a public image person, so if we want to do that, we can do that. But I want to, yeah, exactly. So there's all this stuff going on. Like, you're probably hearing bits and pieces of it. We go volunteer boxes basics, we know that whole piece, but we don't know the whole picture. So now that we kind of shared, and that's just some of it, right? You know, I didn't talk about international stuff tonight. I mean, like, huge grants coming in for international projects. So when you think about the impact that this club's had, it's like off the charts. But we haven't necessarily gone out and figured out how to let everybody know. And then Don, how's it?
Well, the first project you suggested our club get involved in when you joined the club was in COVID. It was a mental health issue for kids in school, where they were not being, because of the heavy volume of kids who needed help, they were not getting the mental help when they needed it, which was now, as opposed to, well, take a ticket and come back 2-3 weeks and tell us about it. So why don't you tell them about what we did, and I think we were funding upwards of $12,000 a year to get a clinic off the ground.
Yeah, there was a clinic in Haymarket was doing some nonprofit work, and we helped supply the funds from the Pickleball Fund. Our first Pickleball fundraiser that went to mental health kids. We called it Help Kids Now, and we got some matching funds from incredible businesses like Pitchwind River here. These guys are amazing, and they helped us with matching funds for some of the work. The people would sponsor a child to get some mental health. That concept came to the point of saying, well, we can get the kid in to the program, but if the family's not supportive, or if the dynamics, are for a finite program, it's not really sustainable. And that's when Linda Craig Costa came to us and asked, would we be willing to take on the Family Resource Center project? Costa's the group that does foster kids advocacy. And she couldn't go after it because it was too big a thing to go after. It's just a niche. But she asked Rotary to do it, and we've never done it before. But this club, thanks to you guys, said, we'll do it. And that's how we ended up with an RV and a whole program going on with state funding. So that was like the evolution of it. So it went from the pickleball thing, which is mental health, to the connections thing, which kept the mental health, but it added all these other bubbles, if that makes sense. Like health, literacy, and food insecurity, and